And now, our feature presentation.
To infinity and beyond!
My name's Bond. James Bond.
That'll do, Piggy.
Bad boys, what you gonna do?
Sorry with the box, what was in the box?
Damn! Ew! Get off of me! Ugh, that's it.
A lot of people go to college for 7 years.
I know. They're called doctors.
Houston, we have a problem.
Hey, how are you, chat?
I'm fine. How are you?
Welcome in to 52/1995, the extra credit edition. We are a live movie conversation podcast where we discuss movies from the year 1995. I am your host, Cody, and I am joined this week, midweek, by my co-host, Spencer. If this is your first time joining us, welcome in. We are happy for you to join us today. Just to give you a little bit of a heads up, typically, we do 52 movies from the year 1995, but every month we have a couple movies that don't quite make the cut, so we want to give them their due. This month, we're talking about our topic, our theme, our category, whatever you want to call it, and that is in honor of one of our OG guests, the man who makes my graphics, I would say. Spencer's super sweet month of movies. He just turned, how old are you, Spencer?
33, and it's ST3, all right?
ST3, my bad. ST33. He just turned
Oh,
33.
there you go.
That, which means that our movies this month are all movies that Spencer enjoyed from his childhood. 95 was a good year for Spencer, and we're not covering all of the ones because some of them did actually make our list. But he still enjoys these movies today. And I've been wanting to talk to him about one of these movies for a very long time, as it was one that I had not seen. And we'll go ahead and go over those four titles that we're talking about. Hopefully, some of you have had a chance to see some of these movies or revisit these movies. But they are House Guest, Bushwhacked, Man of the House, and Tom and Huck. So, Spencer, what is your experience with some of these movies? Take me back to 1990, whatever.
Whoa! My phone heard you say that and it panicked. All right. Hey, that's my beer. So let me transport you back to 1995. It's me. It's my dad. We're sitting on the couch. We're watching House Guest. It's me. It's my mom. We're sitting on the couch. We're watching Bushwhacked. It's me. It's my dad. We're sitting on the couch watching Man of the House. It's me. In school. We're watching Tom and Huck. That's it. That's what it is.
He transported us back there. Man, it was vivid too. Like I was there with you.
The description, the details in that story were so incredible, weren't they?
They were. And I mean, some of these movies I had seen the one that I had not seen was House Guest. And that is actually the one that you were the most excited about of this year. So let me go ahead and talk about House Guest a little bit before I start asking you questions about House Guest. So House Guest, it's directed by Randall Miller. Randall Miller, best known for his work on movies such like Class Act starring Kid and Play and The Sixth Man, the basketball movie starring Kadeem Hardison and Marlon Wayans. And then also he's got some experience in some Disney Channel original movies like H-E Double Hockey Sticks. I don't know if you're familiar with H-E Double Hockey Sticks or not. It's a hockey movie, obviously. But anyway, House Guest it is okay. I was going to say it was the highest rated one out of all of the four here, but it's not. 18% on Rotten Tomatoes. None of these movies go above 20. No, none of these movies go above 18% or 25%. So isn't that crazy? That's mind blowing, right?
I did not know that.
Yeah. So let's start with House Guest. Why is this your favorite of
Well,
these?
First of all, let's start with Roger Ebert. He actually came out and said this was his favorite movie of all time as well. So that was a nice little tidbit that I found. Also, the tagline is fantastic. It's he came, he ate, he stayed. And he did eat. Sinbad did eat. And he left no crumbs, as the kids would say.
I'm not seeing that information about Roger Ebert reviewing this movie and saying that.
Yeah, it was in like a first edition review booklet of his. It's one of one. Not a lot of people have it. But
Okay.
this was actually, and we'll get into it later. It was filmed in Sewickley, Pennsylvania, which you have been. I am to understand.
I've not been to Sewickley,
Oh.
but I know somebody, a good friend of mine.
Okay.
Better friend than most to
So,
me. But she's from that area.
and a nice area, it looks like.
Yeah, nice area. That's a lot of money there.
Yeah. So I was talking to you about this movie over the weekend, and I mentioned that everyone has a Spencer movie, and it's a movie that's not necessarily good, on the surface, but whether through nostalgia or some kind of connection with the movie or whatever, you love it, and that's kind of me. This was a movie growing up that I watched with my dad quite a bit. So I think that is why it sticks with me. He's a huge Chevy Chase fan as well. So
I was like, we're not talking about that
sorry.
movie.
So these other movies kind of fall in line as well. And later I'm interested to hear how these all intertwine for you. So we'll get to that. But no, Sinbad was just, I don't even know how to describe it. Like, almost an everyman, but reminded me so much kind of my dad. Like, he's not perfect, but he's funny. He's really into basketball, which we were, loves McDonald's. We did. I don't know. I could
Is your dad as tall as Sinbad?
How tall is Sinbad?
I think he's like 6'4", 6'5".
Damn. No, he's not. But I could get more into it. There's a lot into this, but I don't want to get too deep into it. But basically, yeah, I mean, it's just like a quirky, funny movie, and I just feel like I relate to Sinbad. Like, Sinbad, in a way, is my father.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know. I don't know much about your father, so I have nothing to back to.
Just imagine Sinbad, but he's white.
Okay. I got you.
So as I was saying with the Spencer movie, what I would like to do, I see we've got a couple people in the chat. I would like to hear everybody else's Spencer movie, if you will, including yourself, Cody. So if everybody would just drop that in the chat, I'm interested to know what your Spencer movie is. It can be a bad movie, not a good movie, but it's just, it wraps you up like a warm hug.
Yeah, no, I actually made a list of what I call comfort movies on Letterboxd.
Perfect.
So I, feel free to check that out. If you're on Letterboxd, you can find it on my net. This is not a way for me to pimp out my username on there, but I did do this kind of thing. I'm also playing one in the background right now that is probably some people's Spencer movie. I'm playing 91 or 92 Hook.
Okay.
Yeah, with Robin Williams, which was almost critically panned as all the movies that we're talking about now. But like, you ask any kid from the 90s that had seen Hook, and it's probably one of their favorite movies. But when it comes to like a Spencer movie, I'm thinking of something that is truly unique. Like Alyssa said in chat, hers is the Cinderella, the Brandy version.
I need Alyssa and my wife to meet immediately, because I think that would be up there for her as well.
Yeah. And it's one of those movies that's not like so rare that nobody else is in love with this movie too. But like, mine would probably be The Wizard. starring Fred Savage and Jenny Lewis, about a video game tournament that's completely terrible. It's so absurd, especially when it gets down to the actual video games of it. But I watched this, and I never had video game systems growing up, so this was my way of like transporting myself into that world and being able to like be a part of video games when I didn't even have any. I love that movie so much. Quote it a lot. And
I do have a question for you, because there's a current movie that actually reminds me a lot of The Wizard, and I'm wondering if you've seen it, 8-Bit Christmas.
What is it? 8-Bit Christmas. Oh yeah, I have seen 8-Bit Christmas, and it's a cute little Christmas movie that came out a few years ago on Max on HBO.
Yeah. I didn't know if you felt that they were kind of similar, but they just remind me of each other a little bit.
Yeah, they are very similar, but there's something about that 80s version, like of The Wizard. 89, I think, is when it came out, because it came out the same time that Super Mario Brothers 3 came out. That was the first time.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, but I loved Fred Savage just because of like Wonder Years, and Jenny Lewis is easily like probably the first celebrity crush I ever had in my life. Like, I was in love with her. And just Christian Slater's in it. I don't know. It just felt like one of those. And I always found their family unique. And that's another thing that I think is special about some of these movies, are the family dynamics in them. Because most of them do not have, and this is not, I'm not picking on anything, it's just something I noticed, is like a lot of these people in these families either come from like blended families, broken home. I'm sorry. Yeah. A couple of them are blended families. Or like found family is another one. Like House Guest is like they welcome Sinbad into their home, and he essentially becomes a part of their family. So it's interesting to me, like the dynamic. Like, same thing with like Bushwhacked. It has its like familial things in there too, with the kids and their own parents. But the Daniel Stern character ends up being like a father figure or a crazy uncle, I would say, to them eventually as their like scout leader. So I think that's one of the things that is unique about all these. Even Tom and Huck, like Tom Sawyer is being raised by his aunt, and Huck Finn has a terrible dad, and he basically and then gets adopted by a widow in town. So that's one of the things that I found about all of these movies that we're watching. There are other similarities in there too.
I was going to ask if that the main thing for you that tied everything together, was kind of the found family, or the blended family?
No, the thing that ties them all together is like 3 of them have to do with mob ties, and like Tom and Huck is kind of similar in the same regard, as it's like you've got these guys doing crime that is pushing the central plot.
That is wild. I did not even catch that. That is incredible. Okay.
And 3 of these movies have to do with 2 of these movies have to do with like Boy Scouts or some kind of thing like that.
That's a good point.
Yeah. And there's always this there's one of the things 2 of like House Guest and Bushwhack both have to deal with like children who feel ostracized or feel like they're being made fun of, or they're not confident. And
I mean, I would go ahead and put Man of the House in that too.
Yeah, and then true. And then the central characters of these movies are the ones that end up like helping those children along the way find themselves and gain that confidence. So, even though these movies are not like critically good, like dark, like they're not, but they do something for children that I don't, maybe we don't get as much of anymore with like newer movies. You don't see a lot of children's movies like these come out anymore. And like even Bushwhacked is a PG-13 movie, which I didn't realize.
That one, when I watched that one, I was kind of surprised at some of the language. I was like, damn, I watched this whenever I was a kid. Like, yeah. God. Apparently there was also like an F-bomb edited out somewhere too.
That's crazy. It's wild to look back and see why these movies are all the same. And yes, I was kind of mean about Bushwhacked on my Letterboxd review of it, but I mean, these movies are kind of formulaic. They are kind of like a combination of Home Alone and how like a House Guest, like where you have this guy come in that isn't supposed to be there, and then like Jingle All the Way, all these like kids movie, Hook, like all these movies combined. And that's why I didn't have anything better to say about Bushwhacked. I was just like, yep, it's every 90s kids movie rolled into one. So
that's why it's in it. You're allowed to have your opinion. That's fine.
That's right. And I enjoyed it. That's the other thing about these is I enjoyed every one of them. I had a great time watching them. They're not some of these movies that I have to slog through and like, just like, when is it going to end? I'm entertained by all of these movies. 5 stars entertainment value here.
Oh, of course. Derek Bond, DDS, and Kevin Franklin, they bring the house down. And also we get to see Squints, who sucks at basketball.
So bad at basketball.
That may be my one big gripe about that is, gosh, get somebody better. And apparently he played in a basketball movie after this as well.
For real?
Yes. I don't know.
He can barely play baseball in The Sandlot. They cut away from him a lot in The Sandlot. So
I mean, not the most athletic kid, but I mean, I guess when you're an actor, that's not a big crossover.
Yeah. So, what are some of your scenes? What are some of the scenes that really stick out to you from House Guest that, in particular?
Yeah,
I'm focusing on House Guest for this one because that is his one.
Fair enough. I've got a lot of stuff going on here too. So Speed Golf, and I'm not going to go in any particular order, but Speed Golf was incredible. Can we just say like that was just. I've always wanted to play speed golf like they did. I'm not going to lie. I do golf every now and then, and I've always, in the back of my mind, I'm always like, we could just do speed golf. But, God, it's that scene's so good. When the little girl gets the gun and then he puts it in the trash compactor. That was, and speaking of which, when I was little, if you had a trash compactor in your house, you were rich. Let me just say that.
If you had a trash compactor, or I would say like those, if a wine fridge that goes in there too. Like anybody that had a fridge that was not like a big fridge, you were rich.
To me, even if you had a garage fridge, if you had a fridge in the garage and in the house,
if you had a garage, you were rich.
Well, fair enough, yeah, for sure. But I mean, I can't even. I wrote so many notes for all these movies, but specifically for House Guest, of course. So I think the scenes will kind of come as we go because I have a quotes section as well. But do you mind if I do a little something?
No, go for it, brother. This is your show, bro.
House Guest has quite a bit of ties back to 52 Slash. That I didn't realize, and honestly, so do some of these other movies, and I'll do those as well. I was originally just going to do this for House Guest, but I'll go ahead and do these for the rest of them if we want to. How about a 52 Slash pop quiz, if you will? You down for that?
I like that. Yeah, I'm down for that.
Okay, I got 6 questions for you in House Guest. I mean, they're all basically the same question, just rephrased. You'll see. So first question. Kim Greist. I hope I'm saying that right. Is it Greist or Greist?
I have no idea. She's your mom.
We'll go Kim Greist. She was one of the 1993 or 2023 movies that we did this year. So we'll say 1993 movies that we did a few years ago. Which one was it?
I think it was what movie was it?
Don't look it up.
Oh, I'm not looking it up, but I was like
1993 movie that we did.
Is it a children's movie?
Mm-hmm.
Leprechaun.
No, it was. I'll give you a hint. It's one of the most hated movies from me.
Oh man! Oh, it's Homeward Bound. She's the mom.
Yep, that's it. Okay, and then I also wrote, "Is she dead? She's not done anything since 2001."
Oh no.
I couldn't find anything. I think she's still alive. Hey, Alyssa got it, and Nightbot is pissed at you again.
Nightbot hates Alyssa so much.
I honestly feel like you programmed Nightbot to specifically single her out. What is
She's gonna be
happening?
so pissed after stream.
Nightbot.
Oh my gosh.
Damn. All right, so we got that one. You're way better at movies than me, so hopefully you know who this is. Second question is Paul Ben Victor. Are you aware who that is?
Yeah, I know who Paul Ben Victor is.
Okay, he was in one of our 1993 movies. Which one was it?
Oh my gosh, Paul Ben Victor. It's not Carlito's Way, is it?
Nope.
Kids
You want me to give
movie?
you a hint?
Yeah,
No, not a kids movie. It's a Western.
Paul Ben Victor in a Western, 93. Gosh, man, I'm not doing good. You would think I did all these that I would know, but man, a Western in 93. Paul Ben Victor.
He may not have been a big role in this one. I'm not sure. I can't remember.
I'm stumped.
Okay, the answer is Tombstone.
Oh, I don't remember him in Tombstone.
Don't either. So that's why I'm thinking he's probably a small part. So
Not sure. I reckon. Anytime Paul Ben Victor shows up on screen, I know who he is. He's one of those
That's a
like character
recognizable
actors
villain.
that I've come to figure out who he is and stuff.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. Third question. Not to be confused with Mike Starr, but Tony Longo was in one of our 1993 movies. Which one was it? And I think you'll get it.
That is gonna be he's in Dumb and Dumber, isn't he too? But or maybe not.
Mike Starr.
That's Mike Starr. Tony Longo is in Mad Dog and Glory.
That's Mike Starr.
Oh, gosh. Tony Longo. Carlito's Way.
No?
That's Mike Starr.
It's a kids movie.
It's a kids movie. Baby's Day Out.
Danny Glover was in this movie.
Danny Glover. Man, I'm doing terrible at this.
Uh-oh.
Oh, Angels in the Outfield.
Yeah, he was the catcher.
He was. That's crazy.
All right, you ready for number 4?
Yes, I am.
It didn't seem like you were, but I'll ask it anyway. And I hope you know this guy. I know him by his face. If you told me his name, I wouldn't, but you probably will. If not, I can tell you. You'll know after I describe him. Jeffrey Jones.
Yeah, I know Jeffrey. There's a lot of stories about Jeffrey Jones. So.
Oh no, I need to hear those. But anyway, he was also in Ferris Bueller, obviously. But
Beetlejuice.
He was in one of our 1994 movies. Which one was it? I didn't watch it, so I don't know how big of a role he was in.
94 Jeffrey Jones. Man, you're really testing my memory, and this is my 37-year-old age is showing.
That's okay.
Give me a hint.
Directed by Tim Burton.
Oh, of course it was directed by Tim Burton. It's Ed Wood.
Yep, there you go.
I should have known.
Okay, number 5. Stan Shaw. You know who that is?
Stan Shaw. Who is he in House Guest?
He is the tattoo artist. Giving the guy a moped instead of a Harley.
Okay.
You got him in your head?
I'm trying, yeah.
Okay. He was in one of our 1993 movies. Which one was it?
1993 movies. Okay.
This one's one of the toughest ones, I think.
Falling Down?
No, but I actually not the worst guess. Not the worst guess. What's the easiest way to give you a hint on this one without giving it away? Oh, yeah. Sean Connery was also in this movie.
He's in that movie? He's in what is that movie with Wesley Snipes?
What the hell?
Rising Sun.
Yeah, he was in Rising Sun. Apparently he was a guy named Phillips. I don't remember him, but here we are. Okay, last one.
Shaw.
Last one. So Kevin West. We aware of who that is?
Is that the guy that drinks the wine?
Kevin West is the guy that drinks the wine.
Okay. See, I know these actors. Yeah, I got him in my head.
Okay, he's been in 3 films, not including House Guest, that we've seen. Can you name them?
Well, we didn't do Biodome. I know he's in Biodome.
Hey, good call, because I was going to ask you about that as well. Let me see if I can get years for you. I like this game. Stump the Schwab.
I hate it.
Okay, so 1, 2 were in 1993.
2 were in
1 was in 94.
1 was in 94 and 2 were in 93.
One of them, I think, was one of your favorites of 94.
One of my favorites of 94. Damn, Shawshank? No, he's not in Shawshank.
One of your favorites, I mean, like in a Spencer way.
In a Spencer way. Oh, Junior.
Yep, he was in Junior.
Okay. I love that.
The 293s. Let's see if I can give you some hints. I will give you 2 hints. The first one is Blue Balls. You'll know it. You'll know it when I say it.
Oh my god.
The other one, that's it.
Super Mario?
That is one. That was not Blue Balls, but that is one.
No, that is not what Blue Ball. I was thinking. I'm trying to just remember his face, and I remember him in that. He's in the Evolution Chamber.
Very impressed that you got that one.
Blue Balls is tough, brother. Sliver? No, that's.
I mean, in the same vein.
Did you and I do? Or did we do it? Or
I don't know. Crotch grab is going to be another hint.
Indecent proposal.
Yeah.
I'll never forget that. I'll never forget that peen grab, bro.
His peenar, if you will.
He definitely grabbed his peenar.
But yeah, a little pop quiz there, so expect a little more of that as we go along.
Dang. I hope not, man. I'm fail. It would be nice if I had like the lists in front of me. That way I could actually remember what we saw.
Yeah. I do have some. Also, I've got some did you knows about House Guest, of course.
Okay. Well, yeah, go for it. I had a couple too.
Well,
and one of them that I was gonna I'll embellish on, but go ahead.
Well, first I just want to say I want to give an in memoriam segment to Phil Hartman, as well as Kim Murphy, who played Brooke. Kim Murphy, I actually had to look up. She how do I say this lightly? She committed something in October of 2018. And I don't know if I can say this. It's kind of fucked up. But unfortunately, that is kind of on par with her character in House Guest. Did you know that John Candy was the first choice to play Kevin Franklin, but he died before filming? And that's going to come up later.
I was about to say, he comes up again later in some of the information that I have too. Yeah, which is really crazy.
But I guess he was like a top billed guy right then, so it makes sense. Sinbad's first leading role in a movie?
Okay.
Uh,
And I'm trying to think. Yeah, I guess that's right. Because
is it his
I was gonna
only?
say, no, First Kid.
Oh yeah,
Do
yeah,
you
yeah.
remember First Kid? Yeah. I was gonna say Shazam, but that's not a real movie.
What's that effect called again?
The Mandela
No.
Effect.
Yeah. I almost said Streisand, but that's not it. Okay, yeah.
Barbara Streisand.
You have a little bit about Phil Hartman's death that I did not know about. If I don't know if we want to get to it. It's kind of grisly, but I don't know if we want to get into it.
I mean, it is just one of those crazy
Fact.
things that happened. Phil Hartman was murdered by his wife while he was asleep. They had gotten in an argument earlier that day, and it's kind of widely known that she became addicted to drugs during their marriage. There's some, especially after or during Phil Hartman's time on the show News Radio. I think, it's just a super sad story, and I do think that she ended up taking her own life as well, because the cops were getting ready to bust in, and she just took her own life.
That's a good way to say it. That's how I should have said it with freaking Kim Murphy. I'm sorry, Kim. I did you dirty.
It's okay. But it's pretty grisly details about Phil Hartman. It's one of those things where the more you look into it, you're like, oh yeah, these people. There's some people out there that are probably to blame.
Did you say there was a documentary on that, or a book, or what?
I don't know. I have never seen a book or anything. Okay. I have seen interviews with people, or I've seen or read interviews with people about that stuff. So I don't know.
Okay. Do you want to hit the McDonald's, or should I?
You can go ahead with the McDonald's.
Okay. Well, the McDonald's that he visits in the film was an empty storefront. The town didn't have a McDonald's, so they built a functional one that was actually open for business regularly during the shoot and then closed and dismantled, which seems wild.
That is crazy. That would be a thing, like that they would actually operate a McDonald's for the length of the shoot.
My thing is, why would you close it? Like, it probably could do good business in that small town.
Yeah. It is now a Bruegger's Bagels, though, and I'm gonna go.
Oh, you are? Is it? How close is it to Pittsburgh?
She'd probably have to give you an idea. I think it's closer to Pittsburgh, but so that's like an hour away from where I usually visit over there. So.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize that. Okay, I didn't know.
It's doable. I'll do a whole house guest tour when I go.
If you please see if those basketball courts are there as well.
I'll try and find them.
Sinbad and Phil Hartman are also in one of my favorite Christmas films, Jingle All the Way, but I don't think they actually share a scene together.
Interesting. Nope, did not know that.
Sinbad, this shows how great of an actor Sinbad is. He ad-libbed much of his dialogue. For example, him talking about his scuba diving accident in the car was completely ad-libbed.
I did see that there was so much, and some of the people got frustrated because they were like, I don't know what to do with this. So, and the director's just like, go with it. Just work it.
I mean, that reminds us of kind of what we said about Jumanji with Robin Williams. I mean, in that one, he really reined it in, but a lot of, Robin Williams' stuff is like people are hesitant to, have him act and stuff because he is so wild and unpredictable with the ad-libs. Mm-hmm. But yeah, we've definitely seen that before. Sinbad was actually on a diet during filming, so the meat patties on the Big Mac were actually turkey burgers, which is crazy because fuck that. The brand of baseball cards Kevin Franklin gets and eats the gum out of, Tops. They did not contain gum in the packs in 1994. So.
Oh, Tops didn't do gum.
Get wrecked.
Have you ever had that gum?
I think once.
It's like a hard version. If you took Big League Chew gum and put it together so it wasn't like stringy and like hardened it, that's what that gum tastes like.
100%. I could see that. Or like, it's almost like a double bubble stretched out.
Yeah. It had like that dust on it, that which is probably just all
What is
preservatives
that?
or whatever. I'm sure
Yeah.
it's just
Double bubble, double dragon, double F-Zero. So what was your main did you know?
Oh, my main one was the John Candy thing. So, and the McDonald's one. Those were the two that I had picked out.
Okay, cool. Why
So
did
not
you let
that-
me do
so
the
not that
McDonald's one then?
I'm sorry, man. I just wanted to see you work. I'm trying to let Spencer cook. Let ST3 cook.
What? It's SC3, right? Oh, speaking of which, if you want to go back to scenes, him and Sinbad on the train tracks was pretty great as well. When he get ST3 to break out of his fake persona, if you will.
What's the what is Sinbad? What is the thing that Sinbad tells the daughter to say whenever ST3 comes
no
back?
way, no how. See ya.
Do you ever do that in real life?
Every day of my life, Cody. I do it to my wife every morning.
Why? Does she ask you if you want breakfast and you say, no
way, no how. See ya. So I do. Speaking of which, and that was one of my quotes. I do have other quotes. My phone requires a cool down. Let me hold it.
Man, it's these phone cooldowns that really get you.
Well, it's also hot as hell in here.
Turn on the fan.
Good idea, you know. We've done it. So my first quote is just one that came. Well, there's actually two that involve Big Macs, I guess, or burgers. One of them is when they're eating. One of them is when they're eating Big Macs on the bridge and they're singing Maple Ridge, oh Maple Ridge to the tune of Christmas Tree, which that's pretty good. When he ad-libs Maple Ridge is great. The other burger one is at the end when they sing load the grill with fatty meat, put it on a bun and eat. I love that one. It's got some good songs in here, man. You mentioned No Way, No How, See Ya. One of them that me and my wife love, and it's kind of not even a big scene, is when he's at McDonald's and that girl is like really bubbly and she goes, "Hi, welcome to McDonald's. Can I take your order?" And he says, "Yes, you may." So we always say, "Yes, you may." When Phil Hartman slips on the skateboard outside, he says, "Jason, how many times have I told you to pick that damn thing up?" A lot, I think. Probably several, maybe. And then maybe one of my most favorite scenes in this whole movie, other than him making the sommelier wannabe drink out of a wine bottle. That was a good scene. Is his so he puts on this shirt that has GFH embroidered on it, and everybody keeps asking him what it means. And so it's like a montage of him saying what it means to different people depending on who he meets. And I think that's just like genius writing. So here it is. He says Groverton Funeral Home, General Francois Heimlich maneuver, World War I and II, gemstones, furs, and haberdasheries. Graduated full honors, Oxford. I guess you would know about that. It's a gospel group. I was with godliness, faithful and honest. Geeks for hire, gas from humans, girls from the hood, G-strings for the huge. Gotta feed the hungry, girls feeding homies. Good, fine, and healthy, and baby, you're it.
G-strings for the huge. This is very funny.
I do love that one. And then the last one I've got is him talking to, I want to say it's Phil Hartman, and he says, "If you drive away, I'll be standing here pointing."
There's a lot of good lines like that in this movie, and you could tell obviously that it was improv, and it's got to be hard to keep up with a person like Sinbad. He seems like coked out of his mind, but I know he's not on coke at all. That's just his.
Right.
That's just his personality. Because I'm pretty sure he didn't do like drugs at all.
Maybe
I think that's like
maybe that's why I relate to him too. Like I'm really high energy, but like I don't know. I think that might be something as well. Also, I forgot to mention whenever he's a dentist or pretending to be a dentist and puts his hands in the Novocaine is a pretty funny scene.
That is a pretty funny scene. Also, that scene with what's his name, Jim or not Jim? I was going to call him Jim Jeffries.
Oh yes, running together.
What?
Wait, oh, you're not talking about the same one I am, are you? Oh, I was talking about Jeffrey Jones.
Jeffrey Jones. Yeah, I couldn't think of what his name was again. He's in jail now, or should be in jail anyway. Yeah, he's a big pedo.
Well,
yeah,
he played the characters kind of like one, so
yeah. Unfortunately, because I like Jeffrey Jones. I liked him in Ferris Bueller. I like him in Beetlejuice. They had to work around the fact that he is not allowed in Hollywood in the new Beetlejuice movie. And
oh wow, I didn't know that. Okay, wow. Yeah. Well, now I'm glad he got beat in the marathon by Sinbad and Phil Hartman. Yeah, which was another great scene.
Did you ever watch any movies a lot like back to back with this one when you were growing up? Like,
ooh, that's tough. I don't know. I don't think so. No, I wasn't a big back-to-back movie kind of guy. Like, I don't know. We watched one and it was it.
That's okay. I was just wondering if this was like a marathon that you would do. Like if you had a sick day or a rainy afternoon, you were like, oh, let's watch Houseguest and then let's watch Bushwhacked and let's watch Grind. Let's watch.
Hey, okay. Well, hold up. Grind is fantastic. But that's another day. But do you have like, what would be a good pairing in your opinion?
For Houseguest?
I don't know. I don't want to put you on the spot or anything, but I mean,
I was trying to think about this because like
Jingle All the Way would be good, obviously.
Yeah. First Kid, obviously you could pair with that too. But I think there's other movies out there of like Mistaken Identity or where the guy pretends to be
yeah.
And that's what I'm thinking.
I think, you know what? Now that you bring it up, one that we might have actually watched after this might have been Fletch. Not that it was necessarily Mistaken Identity, but it was kind of him going undercover. Fletch and Fletch Lives. Yeah, that could have been one. I think Beverly Hills Cop may have been another one that we would watch. I know they're not like necessarily in the same genre, but those are. God, now that you bring this up, a lot of them are kind of flooding my brain. Between that, Stripes, Caddyshack, kind of a Bill Murray train. I don't know. Like a lot of those were ones that we would watch together. I do wonder if we watched them back to back now.
Did you ever watch the movie The Pest?
Mm-mm.
You remember that movie? No. John Leguizamo is super annoying. Yeah, I don't know what I would pair with this other than those other Sinbad movies. Maybe I'd pair the Genie movie Shazam with this.
The fake one?
Yeah.
But dude, that's all I got for Houseguest, man.
Okay.
I just implore everybody to watch it. It's funny. It's chill. Like it doesn't take a lot out of you to watch it. It's not going to drag. It's like just like you said, just kind of like every 90s, silly movie.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you can see some of this in like Mrs. Doubtfire. He's pretending to be somebody completely different and interacting with the children, and just trying to think of some other movies like that where they
that may be the best. That may be the best pairing, to be honest. because he is pretending to be someone else. It involves, a family. Yeah, I think that one might be it.
Or Sister Act, that happens too. I mean, it's another one, maybe.
Wait, the first one?
Yeah, the first Sister Act. She's pretending to be a nun.
Oh, I don't know. I hadn't seen it but like once, maybe.
That's okay. Okay, so House Guest. Don't know if anybody else watched it. Please feel free to let us know what you thought of it. If you did have a chance to watch House Guest, or if this is a rewatch for you, let us know in the chat. Let's move on to Bushwhacked, which I think we'll probably talk about the least, maybe. But anyway, let me say that I try and keep this this one a little quick. Bushwhacked is tied House Guest with 18% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Dude, all of my favorite movies are 18%.
It was directed by Greg Beeman, who is probably most famous for his Disney Channel original movies. We'll see a couple, we had somebody, or our last one, who went on to do some Disney Channel original movies as well. But Greg Beeman did Under Wraps, the Mummy movie, The Brink, about rollerblading, I believe Brink is about, and Miracle in Lane 2, which is about a soapbox derby starring Frankie Muniz. So just a little bit about Bushwhacked. If you haven't seen this movie, it stars Daniel Stern as a man on the run from being framed, and he ends up being pretending, again, here's another example, pretending to be somebody else, and takes a basically Boy Scout troop into the wilderness to avoid getting caught by the cops and the mob. So, what do you think of Bushwhacked?
I love Bushwhacked, man. I love it so much, dude. Bushwhacked is incredible. Daniel Stern is amazing. You might remember him from Home Alone or Rookie of the Year, even, which he also directed. We also, in this movie, we've got another Paul Ben-Victor sighting.
Yes.
Which is always good. He's Dana's dad. My
Dana,
question to you,
the boy.
Yeah, boy Dana, which always tripped me out as a kid.
Because the girl was in this too, and I was like, who is who here?
Like, that's Dana, right? Like, oh. But yeah, so my question to you is, how does Bushwhacked stacked up as against other camp type movies? I mean, obviously we've got another one in this list, but similar to something like Camp Nowhere or Heavyweights for you?
I think Heavyweights is probably my number one.
Of course,
if we're going camp movies, or Wet Hot American Summer would be up there too.
Well,
yeah, I think. Oh man, I'm trying to think of, do I like this better than Camp Nowhere? I really liked Camp Nowhere. That was like, that was kind of one of my Spencer movies growing up. That
was a good one.
Yeah.
Who was the main protagonist guy in that? I can't remember his name.
Christopher Lloyd,
right?
Yeah.
I can see him and Stern being very similar.
Yeah, a very Stern is more of a physical comedian, though. Like, will put himself in any kind of just shitty situation where he'll just throw his body to into anything. He's very Farley-esque in that.
Yeah, I'm a slapstick guy, so I think that's why I like this so much.
Yeah, so I think that Heavyweights is still the best.
No, fair enough.
I would honestly put Parent Trap up there too, because of the first part of the movie's at camp, and I'd put Addams Family Values up there too, because it has a lot of time at camp too. So
we are doing Heavyweights this year, right?
Yes, we are. Sleepaway Camp. I love Sleepaway Camp.
Sleepaway Camp's great too. Yeah. For different reasons. But in this one, first of all, Mad Max Grabelski is a dope ass name. But I don't know if you had any information on this. I could not find a budget for this one, honestly, or the others, some of the others, on IMDb. Do you have any idea what it was?
No idea. I have two facts about this movie that I was gonna
Okay.
say, and that was that this was kind of planned originally as a semi-sequel to the Home Alone franchise, as like a standalone film for Marv. He was, after the events of Home Alone 1 and 2, Marv was going out on his own, and he had picked up a job as this delivery man, and that's how they were going to tie this to that franchise. So I always thought that was interesting. And then this was the first screenplay that the Farrelly brothers wrote, and they're most famous for, Dumb and Dumber, and There's Something About Mary, but they hated this so much that they put their brother-in-law's name on it. So this would have been their first credit. They hated this movie so much that they wrote it, that they put somebody else.
They said they'd rather be dead than have this as their only credit, which is saying something and is insane to me.
It's crazy.
But no, going back to what you said about the spinoff of Home Alone, just to set the record straight, it's not a spinoff of Home Alone. It was just considered. They thought about it, but it's not. Like, it's officially
I didn't
not.
say it was.
I'm just saying. I don't want to mislead anybody.
I don't care. Everybody goes with misleading information all the time.
Fine.
The internet's for.
I do have some scenes on this that I really loved. One includes the guy. What is his name? Brad Sullivan. Rest in peace. His face getting glued to the steering wheel was pretty good. I love the scene where the kid. Whoa! Yeah, hit me with it.
I was gonna say he's from Sister Act 2.
Yeah, I was gonna say that earlier. Yeah, that's why I was wondering if like the tie together was that at one point, because I think there's a couple. But I also love the scene. I think it's at the beginning of the movie where the kids are rock climbing, but then it shows like a tricycle going like straight up. And so it turns out.
Have you done that before?
What? Vertical, like film yourself like that?
No, just pretended like you were climbing something, but it was actually just on the ground.
No,
you didn't.
That's insane. I didn't have a driveway that had rocks like that.
Oh, I had gravel driveway.
Oh,
I didn't
okay.
drag myself on there.
It was a good scene though, and then of course the guys getting pissed on was good. But so my. Did you know? I've got a couple before we hit another speed bump, if you will, with a pop quiz. I've got another. Did you know? A few of them. This is apparently the only thing John Jordan wrote, because there's nothing else on his IMDb.
John Jordan?
I don't. That's what I'm seeing. He was a writer on this, and he has no.
That's the Farrelly brothers' brother-in-law.
Oh, really? So he wasn't a writer at all?
No, they put it. They just wrote his name on
it. That's so funny. I assumed he was at least a writer.
Mm-mm.
Oh my god! Yeah, that's funny. Michael Galeota, who played Dana, died in 2016 at age 31 as a result of cardiovascular disease and hypertension. Everyone go get checked out. Daniel Stern deliberately avoided exercise as he felt it would better enhance just how out of his element his character was. So that goes back to like you talking about like how he'll put himself in like situations like that.
Yeah.
The Boy Scouts of America wouldn't allow filmmakers to use their trademark in the film. Understandably. And then this one was wild to me because I could not imagine it. But Michael Caine was considered to be the role of Scout Leader Erickson, so which was Brad Sullivan.
Oh, that
I don't know about that.
That one. That one's pretty tough. That one's pretty tough.
Are you ready for the pop quiz?
Yeah, I think I got you now.
I got 4.
I pulled up lists of the movies from the year. That way I can at least kind of like look and see.
Let me see when, because I didn't originally. Oh, okay, The first one, 1994.
Okay.
Producer Bobby Farrelly. You'll probably
Yeah.
get this one. Co-produced.
Dumb and Dumber.
What else? Yeah, you already mentioned that, but I had it. Writer Bobby Swerdlow. He wrote 2 films. Let me see what years they were. 93 and 94.
93 and 94. Bobby
Swerdlow, writer. He wrote them. 93, 94. Both of them would be considered family movies.
Okay. 93, 94. Homeward Bound.
Nope.
Mrs. Doubtfire.
Nope.
Hocus Pocus.
Nope.
Sandlot.
Nope.
God. Dennis the Menace.
Nope.
Oh my God.
Get wrecked.
Free Willy.
Nope.
I'm out of them.
You want me to tell you?
Super Mario Bros. 3.
I'll give you a hint. One of them was about the Jamaican bobsled team.
Cool Runnings.
The other one was about football.
Football. Rudy?
No. 1994.
Little Giants.
Yeah, Little Giants. So Bobby Swerdlow also wrote Cool Runnings and the Little Giants. I said I had 4. It turns out I've got 3 because you already mentioned Brad Sullivan in Sister Act 2. Anthony Heald. I know you know who that is.
Oh God. Is
1994.
He's not in Dumb and Dumber, is he? Okay, 94. I know him. He's always plays like kind of a bad guy. Kind of like a shit heel. It's not Blank Check. It's not Richie Rich. It's not Baby's Day Out. Budge.
I can give you a hint.
Yeah, give me a hint.
I was on this one.
Okay. That helps out a lot.
Oh, I was going to give you another hint, but I'll wait.
The Santa Claus?
Mm-mm.
The Client.
Yep, it was The Client. Yep, he was in The Client. Dude, I love these. These are fun. Level up. Sorry, I do have some I do have some really good quotes in this one as well. Sorry, this is about to be the longest bonus episode. I'm so sorry for ruining your evening. But Bushwhack quotes I've got, I am Milton Fishman super stud, which I have said to you before.
Now I get it. It's that little red.
Yeah. If the manual told you to stick your wiener in a light socket, would you do it? These are all some of these are all around the same kid, which I love, and that's Milton Fishman. How come your nickname's Spider? Because I once killed a kid who called me Spider one time too many.
I think that's such a ridiculous line too, because they're like, "Hey, we want to give you a nickname. We're gonna call you Spider," and then the next line he's like, "Hey, why do we call you Spider?"
Well, you didn't let me finish. He says, "Yeah, but how could he call you Spider one time too many if your nickname wasn't already Spider?"
I hate that kid.
He said, "We run and dance and sing and play," and then the kid says, "My mom kind of wrote the words." He said, "Well, they suck, okay."
I like the song when they're peeing.
That's what I'm going. Yes, that's what's next. He says, "Take your lizards, let them drain. Move your hips and spell your name. Send it straight, send it hard. Now a sword fight. Go on guard. Eat your veggies, eat your starches. Lean back, boys. Golden arches. Now flip them and zip them. Let's get going."
Flip that poor girl.
I know. I felt so bad for her in that scene. So speaking of the girl, Mad Max Grabelski says, "Let me tell you something, honey. There's nothing wrong with being afraid." And Milton Fishman, super stud, says, Spider, I'm afraid too. And he says, shut up, you gutless worm. I'm talking to her. We've got, come on, would you move your wrinkled asses? I'm in a hurry here. Hey, Spider, we just pissed on some guy's head. And then one of them from Brad Sullivan is, you might say I'm the thin khaki line between morality and depravity. When he said thin khaki line, I laughed really hard. And then, of course, the last one I've got is the kid in the backseat when they steal the car. He said, hey, mister, I got to make a dookie.
That kid is too old to be in that car seat.
1,000%.
Way too old. That was my big complaint there.
Yeah, but yeah. So that's all I've got.
You didn't hit me with the other two people that have been in other movies with us. I'm
not there yet.
Oh
we've got some more to go. Unfortunately, why? Did you already look them up?
No, I just know that a couple people have been in there because I looked them up while I was watching the movie.
We'll see.
Okay.
What movie's next?
Oh, you're done with Bushwhacked?
Yeah, Bushwhack's done.
Oh, I was going to say that Ann Dowd, the mother of Gordy, is in It Could Happen to You.
Son of a bitch, I missed one.
The bad guy from this movie, John Polito, is really famous. He's in a lot of Coen Brothers movies. He was in Hudsucker Proxy. Also in The Crow that we did in 94 too. So,
dude, props to you. I missed those. I don't know. I think I just clicked on people I knew and I didn't know those people.
Nice to see that everybody's getting work in the 90s. Now we're going to move over to Man of the House. Now this movie is our lowest rated of the four, which is a little surprising to me. 13% on Rotten Tomatoes. It was directed by James Orr. James Orr, not a fun fact, I'm pretty sure. James Orr had a relationship with Farrah Fawcett, who plays the mother in this movie. And I think they might have ended up that were engaged. Maybe they were engaged. I don't know. But he was very mean to her, and they separated.
That's one way to put it.
That is one way to put it. So, this movie stars Chevy Chase and Jonathan Taylor Thomas, Farrah Fawcett, and it's about a boy living with his mother after his father leaves. And they grow up together, and he sees, men come and go, and it's always just them two. And then she starts dating Chevy Chase's character, who is a lawyer, a U.S. state attorney, or a U.S. Attorney, and he's really trying to win the kid over, but the kid keeps trying to push him out, with antics, and by joining a Boy Scouts, Cub Scouts-esque thing called the Indian Guides. There's some mob ties in this too, because Chevy Chase puts away a mob guy and they come back to try and kill him. So he has to run from the mob. So
this one and the next one have some problematic things.
Well, that's one of the questions. I said, which movie is more offensive to Indigenous people? Is it this movie or is it Tom and Huck?
Oh gosh. Honestly, I know the word in Tom and Huck is super fucked, but I think this one's probably more offensive if we're being honest.
It comes from a place of and I think we've talked about this recently, like the colorblindness era of the 80s and 90s. That's what this one, because it thinks that it is doing something really good with the Indian Guides. It even has a Indigenous man in it who's teaching the children how to do a rain dance and doing the bead work and things like and teaching them those things. So it thinks it is doing a good job, but it is a part of that problematic thing in the 90s, 80s, 90s of colorblindness. But it's really funny.
Also, I hope nobody watched the 2005 film of the same name, of no relation, starring Tommy Lee Jones and Christina Milian. But
Yeah, the cheerleader movie. No.
yeah, hopefully not, but we'll see. I did love that this had Chevy Chase in it, of course. Wish he wasn't such an asshole in real life.
Yeah. Apparently, him and Jonathan Taylor Thomas got along really well, though.
Yeah, I mean, I guess he knows not to be an asshole to a kid. I don't know.
Yeah.
He was really perfect for it. I'll agree with that. Honestly, though, like his acting is fantastic. That's what sucks. Is like his acting is great, but he's just such a bad person.
Yeah, it sucks. John Candy, another person, was up for a role in this. The role played by gosh, I can't even think. George Wendt of Chet. John Candy was up for that as well, but obviously after he passed away, he was not. And then John Goodman was second in line, but he had prior obligations with the Flintstones, and he couldn't get out of his Roseanne contract, I think is what it was. Like they wouldn't let him film. So Chevy Chase was like, "Hey, I know George Wendt. Get that guy in here. Love George Wendt."
Me too, but poor guy is the third choice.
Hey, money's money at that point. It's like I'd love to be the third fat guy in Hollywood when the other two are busy.
That's true. This movie was also known as Man to Man, apparently.
Okay.
And then, so I also wrote down that the nonverbal dude rocks. I don't know who it is, but he crushes. And then I just wrote down Squatting Dog because it was funny.
Squatting Dog, that's my name. Squatting Dog, baby. I had a squirrel named Numbnuts.
That's one of my quotes. I'll stick with Squatting Dog. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pop quiz questions. Are you ready?
5. Give them to me.
Jonathan Taylor Thomas.
The Lion King.
Yeah, that one's easy. Let me see.
As well as Tom and Huck.
Well, of course. Chevy Chase, 1993.
What did we watch in 93 that had Chevy Chase in it? Cops and Robertsons he was in.
I think you'll be
which
surprised.
We watched. What did we do with Chevy Chase?
I think it was a small role. Very small. Ooh. Yeah, he was in it, though, as himself.
As Chevy Chase. Huh. I don't think I know.
Last Action Hero.
I almost said that one.
Damn.
Because I was trying to think of the Hollywood aspect of it.
This one might be my favorite. George Wendt.
Little Rascals, definitely.
Damn you. That was my favorite as the lumberyard
or plastic.
We did just talk about that. Another one you'll probably get, but it didn't click to me until I researched it, but Art LaFleur.
Art LaFleur is the babe in The Sandlot.
Yep.
He's also in the Army now as which I don't think we covered. Wait, we did cover that one last year in one of the extra credit episodes. Art LaFleur. Love Art LaFleur.
Okay. Damn. All right. You're killing this one. Okay. Writer James Orr, which I think you already mentioned.
James Orr. What else did he do?
Let's see if I can find the year.
I'm not gonna know this one. I've seen his name.
93.
I couldn't tell you.
I will give you a hint. We've mentioned this film before.
93. Free Willy?
Nope.
Cool Running? No. Sister Act 2?
Yes, Sister Act 2.
I think I remember reading. I did not know that off the top of my head. I think when I was researching these movies, I think I did see that Sister Act 2 was one of those.
Let me go with a couple more did you knows. This was the only Chevy Chase movie of the 90s to open at number 1 and the last one of his career to do so. It was also I know this fact blew my mind because it was also the most successful Chevy Chase movie of the 90s and his first hit of the decade. It made more money than his last 3 previous 90s movies combined. and was also the only Chevy Chase movie from Walt Disney Pictures. So wild.
Wow.
And then on the same weekend the movie opened, Chevy Chase was arrested for a DUI. So that's interesting.
Good for him, man.
Good for him. He got the party plate.
He got the party plates, bro.
What are you sucking on, chili dog? Then we got some quotes, if you don't mind. I've got, well, we're all part of the same tribe, right? The Minotaur. He said, no, I'm referring to the emotionally constipated American male over 40. And then how you opened the show. Hey, how are you? Hey, how are you? Fine, thanks. How are you?
That is the quote that I will use to this day from this movie.
We've got the squatting dog, and then I've got from Jonathan Taylor Thomas. If you were really clever, you'd wrap us up in wet rawhide, and when it dried, it would shrink and squeeze our organs out through our orifices like a tube of toothpaste. And everybody's like, he says,
Yeah, that was wild.
Yeah, it was. So
I think Jonathan Taylor Thomas is so good at these kind of roles, like him, even as Tom Sawyer. And in this, like, the kid was perfect for that sarcastic role, like him playing Randy, I believe, in Home Improvement. He was just so good at this. Like,
he was everywhere in the 90s. And rightfully so. He was so good. He was like him and Macaulay Culkin were like the child actors that were like knew what they were doing.
I think they wanted Macaulay for this, but he said, I'm done.
Yeah. Well, no, I think he was doing something else. I don't remember what though.
Who knows? Who knows?
Hey, will you do me a huge favor?
Yeah.
Will you introduce Tom and Huck? Because I gotta pee.
Yeah, I'll finish up Man of the House because I did cry during this movie.
Whoa! I'm not gonna pee yet.
I cried when Norman gives when Jonathan Taylor Thomas the vest. When Norm gives him the vest, I was like, that poor kid.
Him being so nice to that kid came off so genuine. Like, oh, that was heartbreaking.
It was really good. You'd go pee. I cried again at the end when they were getting married, but that was pretty much it for Man of the House. I was just in a mood, I guess, for it. So let's talk about Tom and Huck, though. Another Jonathan Taylor Thomas vehicle, as you would say. Tom and Huck is the highest rated of all four of our movies, sitting at 25%. It is the only one that does not have mob ties in it, although you could say there is crime involved with it. Tom and Huck, which is an adaptation of The Adventures of Tom Sawyer by Mark Twain, and was honestly was supposed to be in the same world as the Disney Adventures of Huck Finn movie with Elijah Wood. They were actually going to try and bring Elijah Wood back for this, but I believe he was too busy or had another movie that he was working on at the same time. So I know when I was growing up, I was a big fan of the Huck Finn movie. I was a big fan of this Tom and Huck as well. And this kind of like genre of movie, because it felt like I was a big nerd. I'm telling you that now. I was into these like historical fiction movies where it had stuff like this in it. So Tom and Huck, they witness a murder, and then Muff Potter is framed for that murder, and they spend the whole movie getting into hijinks and trying to decide whether or not they're going to incriminate the true murderer, whose name, unfortunately, Mark Twain wasn't not known in the 1800s for. This was probably, honestly, like the best name that they could probably give him in the 90s. But one of what I would say the most terrifying villains of a children's movie or a family movie, Injun Joe.
Whoa!
That's his name.
Whoa! I just called him Joe.
Wow, his name is Injun Joe in the movie, in the book. It's not great. and not a great depiction of indigenous people, but it is what it is. But he is the scariest. Like, I'm terrified. There's that scene where Jonathan Taylor Thomas is dreaming, and it's like Joe comes out and like scares him, but it's completely a dream. So there's that. Other notes that I'll say about this, I think Jonathan Taylor Thomas is a great Tom Sawyer. He's perfect for that role. His haircut is the freaking worst haircut I've ever seen on a human being. He looks so stupid. Like, why not just keep it? Let him have his long hair.
It's kind of a period piece, though.
No, but if you saw the Huck Finn movie that Elijah Wood was in, same haircut as Jonathan Taylor Thomas. Like the long butt cut with like longer.
When you say same haircut, do you mean same haircut as he normally has or as he had in this?
No, as he had in, let's say, Man of the House.
Oh.
He has the same haircut.
Yeah, that is kind of weird.
Yeah, I don't know.
Huh.
Terrible haircut. Brad Renfro, who you and I last saw in The Client, plays Huck Finn. Sorry to step on that one for you. He kind of sucks in this. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay. Listen, he wasn't great in The Client. We've established this. He's just not a great actor because he's not an actor. They just pulled him off the streets. And it's nothing against Brad. Like,
rest in peace.
Yeah, but he's not a trained actor, so we can't really expect that much out of him.
He never wore shoes the whole time.
Time out.
Right?
Are you talking about Offset? Oh, no. You're talking about... sorry. I thought you were talking about Off the Set, too. I thought you meant, like, he just wasn't wearing shoes.
No, they truly just picked Brad Renfro off the street. He wasn't wearing shoes, and they said, "You're Huck Finn."
I thought you... I did. I thought you meant, like, between scenes, he was just like, I'm not putting on shoes. I don't own shoes.
Did you see the crazy stuff in there about how sexually active Brad Renfro was at age 12? That was wild.
I did not put that in my notes because of how fucked up that is. Because they were like, oh, he was 14, oh, he was 13, like, and then all the way down to 12, and I was like, oh, like, what the fuck? I didn't even put the feet tickling part in there because I read that after the fact of the sexually active part, and I was like, this is weird, man. Like, I felt really bad for Brad after that.
Yeah, and it kind of, you wonder, like, after The Client and after he starts getting some more, fame from this, and this is sadly the trajectory you see of a lot of child actors. If you think like all this kind of contributes to his inevitable overdose. So, I don't know if he committed or if he took his own life or not.
It was, yeah. But it made me feel like some of his like characters, like some of his roles that he played, like almost were too real. Like,
yeah.
Especially like when I think back to The Client and like how he was raised in that, I was like, damn, man. Like, I just feel awful for the guy.
Pretty sad stuff.
Yeah.
Pretty sad. Rachel Lee Cook, though, most famous for She's All That. This is her first movie. She plays Becky.
I need to rewatch that. Rachel Lee Cook. I need to look her up. Rachel.
Yeah. Had a huge crush on Becky in this movie. I felt okay. Let me just say.
Wait. Was it Jonathan Taylor Thomas's love interest?
Yes.
Oh yeah, fair enough. Oh yeah, I get it. When I was a kid too, yeah.
Yeah, she was pretty fly.
What movie did you say that?
She's All That. With Freddie Prinze Jr. She's the one that wears overalls and glasses, and she's a nerd. And then they take the glasses off of her and put her in a dress, and then she's pretty.
No, I didn't see that.
You haven't seen that one?
Uh-uh.
She's also in Josie and the Pussycats. which underrated movie. Everybody should see Josie and the Pussycats.
Sure.
And she'll be in a movie that we talk about this year called The Babysitter's Club. So,
Dang, okay. She just kind of launched her 90s career then. Interesting. So we talked about Mark Twain already with Huckleberry Finn, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is a story that I didn't like to tell, but it's necessary to tell. So Huckleberry Finn. And the only reason I'm bringing this up is because it's relevant to the movie. But in what grade was that? Sometime in high school, I was in, and this kind of speaks to the kind of high school I was in. I was in an English class, and we read Huckleberry Finn, right? So we're reading it out loud, popcorn reading as they do. And just to give you a little background, my high school, we may have graduated with 2 black students out of 230. They were both female. And one of them was in our English class at the time. So we were reading that book. And of course, the part where my guy, N-word Jim, comes into the book, comes into play. I guess the English teacher didn't feel the need to read that word out loud. And she didn't feel the need for any of us to read that out loud, except for she made the only black student in our class read that word out loud, that passage.
Wow.
Yeah. And so that happened. And then she proceeded to ask the student how she felt in general about the N-word.
Is that teacher still have a job?
That teacher is still employed there as far as I know. So there's that.
Crazy.
Yeah. So hopefully that never happens again, ever, in any school. Don't do that.
Don't do that.
But moving away from that, because that is seared into my brain, it is a big reason why I don't like this. I'm not going to say I don't like this movie, but anything surrounding Huckleberry Finn, I have a problem with now because I remember that and how fucked up it was. But I will say in this movie, I felt like the music was very good. As far as like capturing the essence of what was going on and the film, the time period and everything like that. And then I also really liked, I mentioned earlier, the tagline of House Guest. I like the tagline in this one. I know you did as well. The original Bad Boys.
I liked that.
Yeah. And give some background behind that.
About the original Bad Boys. It's interesting because Bad Boys comes out this year, and I'm wondering, which I did not look it up to see when this came out versus when Bad Boys came out. I'm anticipating that Bad Boys came out before Tom and Huck, and then in response to that, they were like the original Bad Boys, Tom and Huck, which would be kind of
cool. This came out in December 22nd, so likely.
So definitely came out because Bad Boys was a summer movie.
April. Yep. Yeah.
So the original. What a fun turn twist on that. That's good.
That is, yeah. I did like that tagline. That was good. You did mention that the film was originally gonna star Elijah Wood and be set in the same world as the Adventures of Huck Finn, 1993. But he was too busy filming Flipper, of all movies.
Flipper. I knew it was Flipper.
So he was replaced by, of course, Brad Renfro. Who
is the biggest 12-year-old I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, how old was he? Was he really 12? Damn. That's going to be what my kid looked like.
Okay, seriously.
I do have, of course, we mentioned, oh, well, let me not get in. I've got last three pop quizzes if you're ready for them.
I'm ready, brother.
Are you sure?
Yep, I got you.
Okay. We've got Stephen Sommers, the writer, also wrote and directed a film in 1993. What was it?
Stephen Sommers, probably best known for directing or writing The Mummy. You said 93?
Mm-hmm. As far as I know.
93.
Oh, it may have been 94. May have been 94. I'm so sorry. It may have been 94.
Okay, 94. Stephen Sommers.
I'm struggling with this one.
It's okay.
Yeah, 94.
What would he have done in 94? Give me a hint. Nope.
He also did Adventures of Huck Finn. We know that
Jungle Book.
Yeah, there you go. Okay. Dave Doherty, rest in peace. He just died last year. Also wrote a movie in 1993.
Dave Doherty, 93. Three Musketeers.
Yeah, that one's Three Musketeers. And then last one is Michael McShane, the actor, was in a 1994 film.
Richie Rich.
Correct. That one's easy because super recognizable. I'm glad you finished 3 for 3 on that one because it was a tough start.
Yeah, Richie Rich, and I know him best. Probably the two that I knew him best from, I forgot he was in this movie, is Richie Rich and the Kevin Costner Robin Hood movie. He plays Friar Tuck in that movie. So
okay, no, I knew him best from Richie Rich as well. I don't know, like I just remember him with the bee and like the mole. Like it's just like it's him.
Yeah. He's also in Office Space. I think he's the one that hypnotizes the main character in Office Space.
Is he really?
Yeah.
I got to look that up. I did not realize that. You know what? Yeah. I watched that not that long ago, and I do remember seeing somebody very similar. What's his name again? Michael McShane? Yep, sure enough, Dr. Swanson in Office Space. Good job. Good pull.
Thanks, man. Well, we've talked about these movies. I asked you before this off screen to rank these movies. I will give you my rankings as well of these movies, these 4. So if you could rank them 1 through 4, what would you do? You can do 4 to 1 if you want. For suspense. I
struggle with the last 2, so just keep in mind that the last 2 could be transposed. Oh, I'm almost tempted to switch them. Okay, our rankings are going to be very, very different.
Oh, I know. I'm expecting them to be completely flip-flopped.
Damn. I think at the 4 spot, I'm gonna go Man of the House, which is wild. I know. Number 3, I'm gonna go Tom and Huck. Okay, so we're going Jonathan Taylor Thomas in the bottom 2. I know it might not be popular, but here we are. We know what my number 1 is, so it's not any suspense that number 2 is Bushwhacked and number 1 is House Guest.
Yeah, my 4 is Bushwhacked. My number 3 is House Guest. My number 2 is Man of the House, and my number 1 is Tom and Huck.
Ooh, okay. See, I did not expect for you to have Tom and Huck at number 1.
I think that Jonathan Taylor Thomas is so good in this movie. I think everybody else in this movie is really good, except for Brad Renfro. But even Brad Renfro, like, couldn't bring it down. Like, and again, I had said that Huck Finn is one of my favorite like childhood movies growing up, the Elijah Wood one. So like this one really hit for me, especially growing up. I love this movie. I remember the whitewashing of the white, where he's whitewashing the fence. I remember that scene. I remember that green marble.
He pays the guy.
Yeah. I remember him getting pushed off the bridge by Becky. Like all of that stuff is like vivid to me.
Did you recognize the kid that he gave the green marble to?
Oh yeah, he's from Dennis the Menace. It's the baby butt kisser kid. Yeah.
Yeah. I was wondering if you did, because I immediately did. Like he gave it to him. I was like, oh shit, that's Dennis the Menace.
Yeah.
Like that was good.
Sid, his cousin, is also from The Little Rascals.
No, is it? It is. Oh wow. Okay, I didn't realize that. Okay, so you had
a crossover here, man.
So you said you had Tom and Huck, Man of the House, House Guest, and then
Bushwhacked. Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
Fair enough. It's not completely flipped, but I'm glad we both had, because I thought it was going to be like controversial to have Tom and Huck above Man of the House.
No, I think, I think if I'm wanting to watch one of these movies over again, it's probably going to be Man of the House. But I think Tom and Huck is a better movie. But Man of the House was more fun for me growing up for some reason. I don't know why.
Yeah, it does have that rewatchability. I think it's just the fun whimsy, like silliness to it, and it's not because and kind of like my wife. Whenever we sit down to watch movies, she's always kind of like, I'm not in the mood for something serious. I'm in the mood for something silly. But at the same time, I think she recognizes that like silliness isn't like the best movie. It's just something that's easier to rewatch.
Yeah, absolutely. Like Chevy Chase putting up the teepee with that with the silent dad. Like that's stupid, but really so funny.
Which kind of reminds me of a movie I watched this weekend. And that would be another camping movie, if you will, Role Models. Another one of my favorites.
I love Role Models, so quotable. Anything else that you've watched recently that you want to recommend to people?
Yeah, I mentioned it in the Discord. So other than Role Models, I mentioned that I finally got to watch Longlegs, which I really enjoyed because it was just, I don't know, it was so different. I felt like it was very unique. And Nicolas Cage just absolutely crushed it. Another one of my favorites, and this was from childhood growing up, and I was really excited to share with my son, was Space Jam, the original with Michael Jordan. I really liked showing him that. I mean, you know how it is, showing people, some of your childhood movies and or some of your favorite movies, and just enjoying sitting through that and seeing how they react and how they like it. I really like that. I watched the movie Goon. It's a hockey movie. Of course, I really love that. It's got Stifler in it. So between that and Role Models, I've gotten enough of him. And then the last one I watched was one of your recommendations. It was a short film. I think it was nominated for an Oscar. I'm not entirely sure. And I'm not entirely sure what country it's from either. It's a foreign film called I'm Not a Robot.
That's nominated this year for Best Short Film.
Is that German or is that Dutch?
I think it is German. I think it's German.
Okay. I couldn't remember. But yeah, that was pretty wild. It was good though.
Yeah.
It was good.
It plays a lot like a Black Mirror episode, I think.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, Spencer, I guess I mean, I've seen, I'm trying to think of what I've seen recently besides these 4 movies that I watched kind of in a rush, and the movie that I'm doing on Sunday. But the only other movie that I watched 2 movies, Saturday Night, which is about Saturday Night Live, the first episode of Saturday Night Live. It's a 2024 movie. I thought it was pretty good, honestly. I thought the actors It's on Netflix. You can check that out if you wanted to see that. But it's about like the first like hour and a half leading up to the first episode of it. And if you think about it and you try and like nitpick it and be like, oh, that didn't happen that way, then you're going to hate the movie. But if you just kind of go into it for what it is, like accept it, and just enjoy the love letter that it is to Saturday Night Live and everything. My only qualms with it is how they depict Jim Henson in the movie. I kind of hate that. But other than that, I thought it was a really good movie. And then another movie that I watched recently that's up for Best Picture is Nickel Boys. And that I think it is available to rent. But Nickel Boys was very good, very interesting movie. I don't think it's going to be for everyone. One, it's got, some hard subject matter in it, but two, the POV, it is told from like a first person point of view at all times. So it's a little hard to get used to.
What is that about?
It is about this teenage boy who gets sent to a reform school in Florida. I think it's in Florida, called the Nickel Academy. And it's about like it's during the 60s and segregation and everything. And it's about the school basically abusing and other, criminal activities with these kids. So it's like Holes, I would say, but the worst version of Holes. Like real Holes. So it was really good. I was super moved by it. And
you know what it's nominated for?
Best Picture. It's one of the 10 that are nominated for.
Oh,
Best
really?
Picture.
Okay, yeah. And remind me, I'm sorry, I've already forgotten. When is that award show again? March 10th?
That is on Sunday. This coming Sunday. Yeah.
Oh, damn. Okay.
So you've got some time. But anyway, that's it. So Spencer, thank you so much for sitting with us, doing an extra credit episode, missing out on your personal training session just so you could cover these 4 movies for. I really appreciate that.
Worth it.
And hope that you can come back soon. We do miss you on the regular pod. We'll get you on there again soon. And just to let everybody know, our next month's extra credit theme is called Who Run the World, where all our films are about women and the friendships and love and family relationships that they have. Those movies are Waiting to Exhale, Boys on the Side, The Incredible True Story of Two Girls in Love, and How to Make an American Quilt. And you can find that information as well as more on our Discord. Just join that Discord. I'll go ahead and put the link in the chat for anybody that is watching and is not a part of that. So I'll go ahead and do that for you. That'll be on that. Yeah. Thank you, Nightbot. That'll be on March 26th. So it'll be just a night like tonight. And, we'll do these 4 movies, but if you can join us on Sunday, we're talking about Sense and Sensibility. We're covering all Oscar Best Picture nominees from the year 1996 because these are 1995 movies. So we're covering Sense and Sensibility this weekend, Sunday at 5 p.m. Eastern. Join us there. Spencer, thank you so much again, and thank you everybody in the chat. We love you, and we'll see you next time.